This tutorial is a project of nonprofitaccountingbasics.org, a free resource developed by the Greater Washington Society of CPAs Educational Foundation. Our goal is to encourage accuracy and accountability to help smaller nonprofits successfully manage and sustain their organizations.
Hi, I'm Bennett Weiner, Chief Operating Officer of the BBB Wise Giving Alliance. And what I'd like to talk to you in this short video about the top 5 missed BBB charity standards. Now, these are things that we believe that all organizations, no matter what their size, can do to manage the risk and build trust with the donor community. So with that in mind, I'd like to talk a little bit first about what we do at the BBB Wise Giving Alliance. Our main mission is to seek to verify charity trustworthiness. And the way we do that is we have 20 holistic BBB standards for charity accountability. These are standards that address such things as governance, finances, results reporting, and solicitations. And through rigorous evaluations, we verify whether charities meet or don't meet these standards. There's no charge to the review to the charity, and the reports are free to the public at the give.org website. So, as an introduction to this general area, the one thing I'd like to start talking about is what you may have heard about as the Overhead Myth campaign. Now, this was a campaign that started in 2013 and also had a follow-up in 2014. And the objective of this was a coordinated effort between the BBB Wise Giving Alliance, GuideStar, and Charity Navigator to first send a letter to donors to tell them to not overemphasize financial ratios when assessing charities. There are other things they need to consider when making a donation decision. Now, that's something that was very important to us for so many years because our standards have always been broad. We've always looked into many more issues than just the finances of the organization. And in 2014, we had a follow-up letter that was a letter to the nonprofits of America to encourage them to demonstrate ethical practice, to help individuals verify the trust in the organization, to understand the true costs in carrying out their activities, and to help educate funders about the importance of having management in general and fundraising expenses in order to carry on their operations. So with that in mind, I'd like to now talk about the 5 most missed BBB charity standards. These are the things that we see most often in the reviews that we do of publicly soliciting charities. And the number one thing that we see that is missed by the evaluations that we do has to do with the organization's annual report. I'm not talking about the audit report or the 990. I'm talking about an annual summary that includes certain basic information about the organization, such as what their mission is, their accomplishments in the past year, a roster of the board, as well as a financial summary, such as total revenue, a breakdown of expenses, and ending net assets, the financial position at the end of the year. Now, this is nothing fancy. It doesn't have to be any glossy publication that's fully printed and bound. It could be just a simple document that could even be put up on your website that includes these basic elements. And the things that we see about annual reports most often that are deficient is in the financial summary. Sometimes organizations will include just the revenue and expenses of the organization and leave out their financial position, which is the ending net assets at the end of the year. Now, some organizations put their full financial statements in the annual report, and that's fine too, and that's certainly more transparent. But for those of you out there that put in a financial summary, look at our standards because sometimes we find them deficient and not encompassing the basic minimum that we hope to see when an organization has an annual report. The second standard that we see that's most often missed has to do with a board policy issue. And this is a policy dealing with ensuring the organization has a commitment at the board level to do some type of results reporting or effectiveness assessment at least every 2 years. So why a policy? If there is a policy at the board level that commits to doing this, no matter what happens in the organization in terms of staff changes, the policy will help ensure that this activity continues to take place. And we feel this results reporting activity is something very significant, and we've been encouraging organizations to do this since 2003. So this is something that we've been at for quite a long time. And again, I'm talking about a board policy to commit to having this assessment done at least every 2 years. The third area also deals with results reporting in the sense that we recommend that there be a written report not just a commitment to doing the evaluation, but some type of written report that summarizes this results assessment and is provided to the board for their consideration. And this report will cover information such as the progress they've made in addressing their mission, their future goals, and what steps they may need to take in order to address the issues identified in the assessment. And again, this written report will be done at a minimum every 2 years. Now, some organizations, particularly those smaller in size, will need to get some additional guidance about how to do these assessments. What do we put into them? Well, it doesn't have to be, again, some outside consultant necessarily that's hired at a great expense. It could be something that could be internally produced by the organization. And several years ago, we got together with Independent Sector and GuideStar to create that type of a framework. It's known as Charting Impact. And you can find out more about this framework, Charting Impact, on the guidestar.org website. And what this framework is intending to do is to provide some recommended elements that would be included in some type of results reporting activity, such as questions that address, what is your organization seeking to accomplish? What are your strategies to make that happen? How will your organization know if you're making progress? And what have and haven't you accomplished so far? So to find out more about this Charting Impact framework that's available for you to reference, go to guidestar.org or go to our website at give.org to look up our article about the Charting Impact Project that includes these questions and information about how to do these reports. The fourth most missed standards of the BBB charity standards has to do with the frequency of board meetings. Now, we recommend there be at least 3 meetings of the board of directors on an annual basis. I'm not talking about the executive committee or some subcommittee, but the full board of directors meeting at least 3 times per year. Now, we also hope that a majority will be in attendance on average, and that at least 2 of these 3 meetings be face-to-face. Now, if for some reason that can't be done because of long distances, people have to travel to get to meetings, you can have a video or Skype meeting as long as people can see each other. That can count as a face-to-face meeting. But you can't have that oversight taking place unless the board is showing up and actively engaged in discussing the activities of the organizations on an ongoing basis. And we feel that 3 is a minimum in order for that good guidance to be taking place within the organization. Now, you may have more meetings than 3, but 3 are the minimum that we're recommending. And one of them, again, could be by phone, as long as official minutes are taken so you can have a record of what happened and what decisions were made. But the governance of the organization really is a cornerstone, fundamental aspect of accountability. An organization that has an active and engaged board is less likely to have problems in other areas of the standards and other aspects of their activities that may come up. And the 5th standard that is most missed has to do with website disclosures. Now, in terms of the charity's website, almost every organization out there has a website today, and most of them are also collecting donations on that site, or at least telling you where you can send your gift to. Well, we recommend that if you have that website, that you also include certain information, certain disclosures. And what we're recommending is, as part of this standard, is the same information that you would see in an annual report would also be available on the website, such as the organization's mission, a summary of accomplishments in the past year, a roster of the board, and a financial summary. And the other thing is that we also recommend that the website itself include a link to the IRS Form 990. Now, why are we recommending that? Well, we believe that the 990 has become such a popular reference tool for donors and other users that you might as well have this available on your site so people can easily access it. Yes, it's available also on state government regulatory sites in some cases. It's also available on guidestar.org and other places that you can go to. But why ask the donor or the visitor to go to those other places to see it? You can easily provide them the 990 right on the site, and that's what we recommend as part of that standard. And while I'm on the topic of website disclosures, I want to mention something else, although not part of this 5th area, but it's covered by another aspect of our standards, and that has to do with a privacy policy. If you have a website, and everyone does, you should make sure that you also have a privacy policy on that site that's going to be informing visitors of certain things, such as what information has been collected by me and for what purpose. Can I look at that information and where do I go to make corrections? Can I inform you that I don't want this information to be shared with others? And finally, what security measures do you have in place to make sure that there isn't any unauthorized use of that data by outside parties? Those are just 4 fundamental things, and the privacy policy that you have should cover them. Now, I know that some people may think, oh, yeah, I have a privacy policy because there is a firm that we use that helps collect contributions online, and they have a privacy policy. Well, that privacy policy covers them, not you. You have to have something that covers any information that you may be collecting on your site, and it may be more than just contributions. You may be getting emails, you may be having orders for publications that people can place on your website, among other things. So keep the privacy policy position in mind, because that's sometimes a neglected area that some sites don't have. Now, these are just the 5 standards that are most missed that I've talked about in this video. There are 15 other standards that we have that comprise the 20 BBB standards for charity accountability. I would encourage you to find out about them and see what they're addressing, and go to our website at give.org. And if you have further questions, please contact us. We'd be happy to help you at the BBB Wise Giving Alliance. Thank you.